And welcome to the episode of the Taylor Complains Comedy Podcast with part two with Justin from Slasher Talk. It's been a week for you guys, but it's only been 2 seconds for us. I just needed to get another soda water. Thanks for coming back, dude.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. I
So,
waited a week. Fuck.
so you, dude, it's been a long time for everybody, dude, because I'm not releasing the one that we just did. So that's going to be available tonight. Like as soon as we're done talking, I already have it compressed and ready to go. It's compressing actually while we're talking right now, so
Well,
that
let's
we
go. Fuck yeah.
both sound beautiful. I will post a video for it, and then we will be good to go, and people will love you and get to see a vulnerable side of Justin. This episode's cool because we get to talk about the circumference, depth, width of his penis. So thank God for that.
Small.
Shut up, dude. Everybody says that. That's just
Small.
humongous. Can you believe Colby? He deletes
I
so
didn't
this
see it. I
dude,
didn't
this
see it.
Discord,
I
this
just
Discord,
I've heard the rumors.
dude. So he wraps it around his wrist. I didn't watch the video. It's a video of it. I'm like the thumbnail of the video is pissing me off. So he wraps it around his whole wrist, and like he puts like a little watch emoji on the top, and I'm like, what? Who has a watch that looks like that? And I
I
backed up. And I was like, why does that watch have veins in it? And I was like, fuck you.
I
I was like, how dare
I
you have hair and a humongous dick?
yeah, I couldn't even think about wrapping my dick around my wrist.
Dude,
There ain't no
I
way.
before I would hook up with the lady, I would always just be like, please, just I need everything to work. Like I've never had I'm always been a nervous person, and I always have what
Mhm.
you have when you're talking about like the imposter syndrome that we talked about with TikTok.
Yep.
I always felt like that with ladies, and Tinder and all these dating apps, like they made it really easy to like meet people and like actually go out and share
Fucking
public spaces.
debatable.
Dude, it made it so easy to just go out and like meet people. And I would like, and it would get to that moment and I would freak out. I would just have so
Yeah.
many nerves. And I just like, I don't know. I'm not a religious person, but like, thank
Yeah,
fucking
same.
whatever power that exists
Hmm.
that let me get through this moment. Cause like, sex is wonderful for people. For me, I'm just like, oh, I'm just happy to be here. Thank you for being here. And I don't know what I'm
Yeah,
doing,
I just
but
want to be in the
thanks.
conversation.
I'm just,
That's
it
I know that's what yeah.
it brings what I was talking about to like that confidence thing that like people just show up and fuck. And it's what they do.
How?
And they just high five and they leave. For me, I'm in my head. How do you stay confident in a
Yep.
space that like on TikTok, dude, people put out videos, they just show up, they fuck and they leave. How do you does
Mm.
confidence a thing for you? Do you struggle with confidence when you're creating things? Do you just want to quit some days?
Uh Absolutely. I mean, I pretty much second guess every video that I, you know, post because it's like it's planned, but it's not really. Like, and that's what I like about talking, what like really what got me to be like consistent. Well, like to be honest, like my dog passed away at the end of last year, and I
Fuck.
just needed something to, and I just needed something to fucking do. Like I just needed like a distraction, and then so like I'm watching all these films, and I have my roommates, my best friends, like they like horror films, but they're not wanting to talk to me, about these fucking obscure French super extreme horror, and let alone two like 200 of them. Like they're like, okay, um, so, but that's what's so easy about what I found so easy about TikTok is I could just like watch a movie and then just bring up my phone and talk about it for 45 seconds and then just hit post and just be like, whatever.
Well, it opens up a
Like,
conversation for you to have that with like so
yeah.
many other people, and like there's so many relatable points. It's like this cabin in the woods or whatever. I just said that's the last video I posted, or like taxidermia or whatever the fuck you're watching,
Rips. That fucking movie's a banger.
and you're just I don't know. It creates a dialogue with like 30 different people or 10 different people. Either way, it's more people than I could look. I could throw a rock in any direction where I live. No one wants to fucking talk to me about cabin in the woods. Be like, shut up, nerd. Be like, all right, cool.
You literally. Shut up, you fucking weirdo.
But that's what I love about this, and that actually brings up another question: is horror talk new? Like I've been doing this since March. I saw a video by Chuck. He did Laid to
Yo,
Rest. Is it new? Like, I don't. Is the community new? Like,
It
is being so
I
close?
if it it's new to me. Like I I pretty much only saw um Sydney from Horror Chronicles for like the
Okay.
last 3 years. Like that's just who I followed, who I saw talk about horror like in like the capacity of like constantly talking about horror on a channel. Um, Everybody else that I kind of knew, like they talked about horror, but it was more like just like film in general. Um, and I didn't really take anything seriously. So I guess I always thought like the community was always there. It was just like me that was new. But maybe horror talk is like a new thing and we all just like kind of came out of the woodwork at the same time. I don't know.
Because you've been on TikTok for 2 years, you said, right? And you said I've been on sitting on
It's
60,000 for however long, and then
it's been
you just hit
like
that boom.
yeah, it's been like 3 years. I
How long have you been
focused
doing horror
on
content?
strictly just horror movies
Yeah,
since the beginning of this year. I
this horror talk
focused
is new.
I focused my movie posters and like I could not get any reach off of my artwork when I posted it. It went nowhere. Everybody else could post those artworks and they would go viral. They'd get millions of views, but me posting it, it went nowhere. Um, so I just decided to make the shift. I was like, I'm gonna stop talking about my artwork. I changed my name to Slasher Talk. And I was like, I'm just gonna talk about fucking horror
Have you
and
thought of like
stop
putting
pushing my
your?
artwork.
You got it, dude. You gotta like. I gotta see the artwork. You gotta. Where can we see the artwork if we wanted to? You know what I mean?
I mean, it's most of it's on my website. Um 1126artstudio.com.
Okay. 1126
Yeah, that's like my
artstudio.com.
yep, that's my graphic design portfolio. Not everything is on there, but you'll see a lot of like my merchandise work, my movie poster work, for sure.
Do
Yeah.
you think you'll ever get back to
But like
sharing stuff like that? Maybe like interchange, like, oh, couple horror movie picks, and then when you don't, when you know, I mean, we all come into creative ruts, and like just throw a
yeah,
couple pictures of what you do
I really
instead
want
of a
to
review.
because yeah, because I really want to because like I've very much lost my passion for design, but it's my job.
Yeah,
That's how I make money. So I want to like intertwine the slasher talk brand or whatever the fuck this is, and then
it's
say, oh, hey,
definitely a brand now.
by the way, I also design artwork for movie posters, and like DVD covers, and like, um, even I've been talking to Chuck, like I want to kind of like lean into and like do branding for everybody in horror, in horror. Like, I want everybody to look just badass, and
Dude, I would
like
pay you.
yeah, but like that's the thing. Like
Yeah,
my graphic design work is so slow, and it used to be so consistent, and then COVID, hit, and that's where the COVID hit. I essentially lost my job, and I went 3 months without work, and I sat down, and I was like, I need to do something, and I was like, to get an internship in California, I made a stupid horror version of the Hungry Hungry Hippos.
that's so awesome.
And I was like, I wonder how much like how would I approach that poster now that I'm like 10 years plus?
Yeah,
Um, and I designed what's now gone stupid viral. And I enjoyed that process so much. I was like, oh, I wonder what Candyland would look like. Oh, I wonder what Shinlatter's in operation and Mousetrap. And I just like sat in my office, depressed, lonely, sad, and just head deep Photoshop, just making some stupid shit. And then like it
does
just
that
like
make you happy though?
oh, it's a huge distraction. and I love combining photos that don't belong together, but making them look like they were meant to, meant to be. Like I love my biggest thing, I love making a fake movie poster and everybody thinking it's real.
The Terrifier 3 one.
Oh, Terrifier 3. I did that Scream 7 um poster. Um there's a lot of them, but like those specifically, I'll be at like conventions selling the Hungry Hippos posters and stuff, and people are like, "Oh yeah, I saw these on Facebook. That movie's coming out soon." And I'm like, "No, they're not because they're fake. I made them." And they're like, "No, you didn't." Okay.
I gotta fly on coming to one of these conventions. I would love to be a fly on the wall during these conversations. Be like, I saw Terrifier 4 already got a poster. Like, I don't know if it did. I don't know. That sounds like something my friend
Yep.
drew. No, I saw it. Nah, I don't know. You should go take a shower. You
Yep.
nerd. I don't know.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah, it's weird.
but we just figured out, I think we just figured out how to make you happy. And I have a couple ideas. So you keeping busy and doing creative things seems to make you happy. I think that like, and listen, don't let me say anything about your brand. Okay. If I'm overstepping a boundary, you let me know and I'll shut the hell up. But
Yep.
dude, we got to get you on a podcast. You got to start a podcast. Like I've been bugging you since the day
Yeah.
that I met you. It's just like when you go live, people like there's that's the most popular live out of anybody in our community. People loved hearing you talk. You could talk about your graphic design. You could talk about your art. It could just be you, and you could just record something. You just download Spotify for podcasters and talk into your phone. You have a mic. You can plug your mic into. It's so easy. It's insane. Like I hit two buttons
Yeah,
after
I
this, and you're now with video on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube.
oh well, that's crazy. I just don't know how it works. And I feel like this isn't me dogging podcasts, but it's just been
No,
like over the last few years, like everybody has a podcast. Like, of course you
yeah,
have a fucking podcast, you fucking nerd.
of course, we
But
have
then
podcasts.
so yeah, but then it's like I don't know how to do it any differently. Like I feel like, especially within like horror, like Sydney's podcast rips, the Dark Screen Society, like they've just got this energy.
Oh, I hate the Dark Screen Society so much. I
Yeah, they're
hate them.
fucking dog shit, right?
I
They're
fucking
so
hate
bad.
them. No, I'll
Um,
never be able to do something on that level that they're doing it, like their production value, Brian Fears
dude,
Ghosts. He has a
it,
purpose on that show of just like bringing back everything full circle with a brilliant quip that he has. And I'm like, fuck you. You didn't say anything for
brother,
10
him,
minutes.
I know him and Chuck, dude, they'll like this thing will like linger for 15, 20 minutes and then just bring it back. Almost after every episode, I'm messaging Brian going, dude, you're fucking
I do it
hilarious.
too. I do it too. And I'll message Chuck, and like Chuck doesn't like praise, but I'll just be like, dude, what the fuck? Like this, like how
Yeah.
you and Brian are brilliant on this fucking show. And just there's so many
Dude,
things coming out.
the one that fucking sent me was they were talking about dog soldiers
Oh, and Seth,
and like Gigi called it dog
dog
shoulders.
shoulders.
And
Yep.
like it was hilarious. But then 25 minutes passes, and then Chuck was like, "Oh, do you know what you should watch? Fucking dog shoulders." And I was like, "Oh my, that is just it just wraps around." And I don't know, it's just yeah, they're all fantastic. But like in that vein, it's just kind of like I don't know what I would do for a podcast. Fucking David Dalsmashian is in a fucking casket talking to talk. It's like that's fucking cool. Like I don't
But
know
you have
what
an
to
audience.
do.
You have an audience. You have an audience. You could do anything and they would listen. I'm not saying like just put anything out there, but like you just do a
Oh
deep
yeah,
dive in stuff that you love. Justin loves gaming. He loves horror movies. He loves horror movie posters. This is what I designed. You could interview people and just ask them stupid questions. You could get someone else. Like I have Colby on a pop. Me, Colby, and Ian are now on. We
hmm
now like Ian's podcast is no more. Me and Colby's podcast is no more. Now we just merged the two because like we were essentially doing the same thing. I would cancel
yeah,
my podcast, but I am selfish and need the spotlight. I do
No, this
comedy,
is
so it's
great though.
something
Don't
different.
don't be canceling this, dude. Mm-mm.
I this is just kind of like my baby. This is actually like my 54th episode, so I've now been doing this slightly over a year. For every week, once a week for a year.
That's so sick. That's fucking sick, dude. Hell yeah.
But dude, but like we're doing that, so like there's two less podcasts you don't have to worry about. It's just Dark Screen Society and then like Sydney Chronicles and there's one more. There's one. Does Chelsea have a podcast?
So, I don't. I'm just kind of getting into podcasts. So I don't really know. I just
Okay.
assume everybody has one, bro.
I would that's a safe
Like,
assumption. It's a safe assumption.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, you and your roommates
yep.
could do it. And you guys could just sit in a room and be like, like this is
We
what we did.
did during COVID. We did like 2 or 3 episodes. I was drunk through every single goddamn one of them. Like,
Did
that's
the
when Justin
pandemic
was drinking.
did the pandemic stop the drinking because you had so much free time that was just kind of like, okay, like this
No,
is I can't.
the pandemic amplified it. Because I went through a divorce right before COVID. I
Craziest
was
woman
with my
alive.
ex-wife for um I was with my ex-wife for 13 years, and then we got a divorce.
I hate her.
And I moved to Nashville, and the only thing that got me through that first year was work. And then COVID hit and I lost my job. So I was in fucking shambles.
Yeah, dude.
So
Of
like
course.
it was just like
Of course.
I was already drinking, and then I lost my job, and I was like, well, this isn't real. So then I would just go to the liquor store and just buy a fucking handle, and it was gone in like a day and a half. I'd just go
Jesus
buy another one.
Christ.
Dude, I would put alcohol down. Yeah.
I almost just told you could go to Costco and get like a big one for but I don't want to
No,
enable. I'm just like I was thinking it was
that's
my
what I would.
alcoholic brain.
Yeah, no, that's what I would do though. I'd go get like a handle, and it was gone in no time.
Mhm.
And but I haven't had a drink in like a year and a half.
Are
So
you a part of a program or is that just like a personal goal that you have
nope.
with yourself?
I was starting to get like this pain in my lower right side. I went to the doctor, and he's like, "You're good." And I was like, "Dude, debatable. I'm drinking like so much alcohol." And he's like, "Whatever, dude." And I was like, "Well, that can't be right."
Would you go to
And
Dr.
then
Doolittle? What the fuck? You
yeah,
went to
I
the
don't know.
veterinarian on
And
accident?
yeah, and but then like I don't know. I just like January 1st of last year, I was like, you need to not drink
Yeah.
for 3 months, just take a break.
Yeah.
And I hit 3 months, and I was like, oh, well, if you can hit three, like you can do four. And then it's been a year and a half. So
Dude, congratulations.
yeah, thank you.
Is it something that you miss? Or is it something you're just like, nah, that was a part of my life and this is my life now.
Yes. Yeah, no, I definitely miss it. Especially socially. Um,
Yeah.
if I go out, dude, like if I go out, like I don't leave the house. And like that was part
Soda
of like
water, dude.
the
Soda
big
water.
reason of me leaving the house was like I could go get a drink, I'd like just chill. And but now it's just kind of like I can't even drink now. Cause like so I'm kind of scared to drink, like to have another drink. Cause like I feel like I'm gonna have one drink and go, I'm fucking back, baby. Like,
Fucking
like,
like
and just
Beetlejuice? What the
like,
fuck? Like someone said your
and
name
just,
three
yeah,
times.
and then just let it fucking rip. So it's like I don't even try it, but yeah, that was a big thing for me socially, is like having a drink and then just like relaxing that way. And then like, but I can't just have one. I'd have like four, and then I'm yelling at people. Yeah.
Yeah, see, there you go. You answered your own question. You answered your own question.
Yep.
You can just have one. You have four. See, I can just have one. And like sometimes
Yep.
I'll just go to the bar with my homies and I will just have soda water. That's it. And
Yeah.
like just because I'm like, I just don't feel like drinking today. You know what I mean? But I drink a
Hmm.
lot. I'll have like a cocktail like every other day or like two or something like that. But like that's it. It's
Yeah.
never more than that. I never wake up drunk. I never go to work drunk. I've never thought about drinking at work ever.
Yep.
Actually, that's not true. I worked at a bar and we would have a beer after work sometimes, but we worked on a rooftop bar and there was like a patio. So, but that was after work.
Cool.
But
Yeah.
you just answered your own question. Is it
Yep.
hard for you to be around people that do that? Like, do your roommates like partake or anything, or they just kind of?
They don't really drink. No, they're not really big drinkers. But like I'm out and about, at concerts, things, and people are drinking. It's not hard.
Not hard at all.
It's no, no. It's been so long now where I'm just kind of like whatever. So yeah,
And then I
I
saw,
was using it for the wrong reasons. Like
yeah.
I was using it to get through my fucking day,
And I
So
and I saw a post that Chuck made a long time ago. He was like, "I'm a cat guy. I'm a construction worker. I have 2 kids, and I've been sober for X amount of years." Is that somebody that you can consult and like when you need some kind of like wisdom or guidance, or like maybe he even consults in you and you guys just kind of vibe off of each other and help you
oh
get
yeah,
through hard days?
we don't. Yes, for sure. I've gotten extremely close with Chuck. Like he'll if he doesn't text me every morning, he usually calls and just like he's always checking in. He's like one of my closest friends.
Yeah.
Now we'll have like just like check-in calls and I'll just be like, Chuck, I'm so fucking sad, dude. And he's like, yes, and like put his own shit aside, like, make sure that I'm, good to go when I know he's kind of going, it's like, yeah, he's fantastic, dude.
It was so hard for me to because like I now talk to him and we have a group chat with me, him and Colby, and like when I first met him, I was so intimidated to like talk to this person. And I feel like out of all of our community, he was the one that was hardest for me. Not because I put a lot of weight into how I approached him as a person. And like, he was the
Yeah.
first one that I saw. And that's why I made an account. And I never thought that I could do it as good, but I try. Like, I've told that story a million times. But like,
Hmm.
I mean, for me to talk to the person that like inspired me to do this, it's like I don't know. For some reason, it was really hard for a while, but like now, like we talk every once, like not every once in a while, we talk every day. Like I'm not like to the level that you're at. I'm just in a group chat with him, or like sometimes he'll call me and he'll like input wisdom, and I cannot. I don't have words for you right now for how grateful I am for that human being, and just for how open and awesome like every single one of you guys has been. Like just every
Yeah.
single one of you, him especially, and you especially.
Dude,
You
and
really
and
helped me with the
he'll
viral video though.
oh,
You
well,
helped me a lot
that's
because nobody else reached out and
that's
was like,
great.
"Hey,
That's yeah.
yeah."
Yeah, no,
Some people reached out and were
I
like, "Dude, you're getting shit on," but like nobody reached out and you're like, "Hey, you're doing a good job." A lot of people reached out and they're like, "Hey, you're getting shit on right now."
Yeah, you're getting shit on, brother. No, because I've been there. It sucks. Um, and people, uh, in my position, um, it's kind of one of those. I feel like a lot of people just like they see the follower count and they're just kind of like, like, oh, like everything's fine just because of the amount of followers, and it's like, dude, it doesn't. I'm not even thinking about the follower count when I'm reading negative comment after negative comment after it's just like, oh shit. Like, um, it's still a lot. So
So if you did
it's
take a break, if you did, if, or not a break, but if you mentioned something in the first episode a week ago, you mentioned in a
last
week
week.
ago in the last week's episode, you were like, "Yo, I might be taking a break because I have this fucking long leg shit." Blah 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 blah. Is that where you would go to podcasting? And this is going back because drinking got brought up and then Chuck got brought up, but now we're going back to
Yep.
podcasting. Is that something? What are we doing with our with like what's going on right now with how much traction that you have?
Yeah, I don't
Something's
know
got to
because
happen.
it's so weird because and that's the thing. Like I joke around that I feel like I need somebody on the outside to like tell me what to do because I don't know how I got here. So I'm just like kind of fucking winging it.
I wanted you and
Um,
Chuck to do a podcast so bad. I think you and Chuck were on with me, and you were on with I did my first podcast with me and Colby as like co-hosts. We had you and
mhm.
Chuck on. Remember like when Colby
It was a
like
great
tried to
time.
embarrass you in front of Scott Hansen? He was like, "Hey Scott," or he's like, "Hey Justin, if you were to design a poster for Scott," and I was like, "No, don't ask that, dude. Fuck,
On the
please don't ask
spot,
that."
brother. I was
It
like, oh
was.
my God.
I'll never forget that as long as I live. Like, good job, Colby, dickhead. Uh, Dude, we were talking about like you and Chuck making a podcast together and how fucking epic that would be and how you guys would vibe off of each other so well. And like I noticed that when you did your coffee table video and Chuck popped up on your FaceTime. And I was just
Yeah.
like, I would love to hear this in my ears once a week, once every other week, just about whatever. Because you guys watch obscure
Oh,
films.
yeah, would you? Because there's hundreds of comments being like, God, your guys' talking is so annoying.
No fucking way. But they would have
Oh,
said that no
dude.
matter who you talk to. Your
Oh, yeah, no,
followers are
100%.
horseshit, Justin.
Yeah.
I just can't. I'm just
All
they're
160,000 of them.
some of them are fucking mean, dude, and they make me mad. And like
Dude.
I can't read your comments.
Honestly, most of them aren't even followers. They're just randoms that find the video and then they just decide, I'm gonna spend my afternoon just shitting on this kid. I was like, okay.
That fucking ugh. Does it ever come from people that follow you?
I check. Sometimes, yeah. And then I just kind of like, I'm like, why do you follow the page?
You're like,
But
dude, I know
most
where
of the
you
time,
live.
it's like, yeah, right.
Like
Um,
I'm outside your house right now. Tell me, what'd you say?
yeah. And that's the thing too, is like sometimes when you like clap back at them or you respond, like they kind of change their attitude for sure. But some of them it just feels them like that's what I wanted.
I like to be
Thanks.
really
I was
awkward
like,
with them.
ah,
I'm like, hey, I'm really glad that you liked long legs, and I'm glad it was worth your time to go. And like 9 times out of 10, they're like, oh man, I'm sorry. Like I don't know, because I'm not gonna be a dick to you, dude. I'm not gonna. I
yep.
have more to lose. I've put like so much time into what we do. Before me and you had this conversation, I rushed home, tried to finish taxidermia and like fucking put out a review, and then sat my ass down here and I like texted you and I got ready. So like there's so much work that is put into this. That's
Oh
why I
yeah,
think that
100%.
sorry. That's why I think that like you and I keep bringing this up. And I know you don't want to answer. I know you don't. That's why I keep bringing up podcasting. Because I really, really feel like it would be such a good use of your time and like you get to absorb people and like talk to them. And like if you're not super comfortable by yourself, you can always get a co-host, dude. Like, I don't
Hmm.
know. Like I think we even approached you and we were like, "Oh, he's not gonna say yes. He's not gonna say yes." And Colby's like, you gotta ask him. You gotta ask him. Like, Colby's not gonna say yes, dude. But
I've
like
been
we were,
asked several times
yeah.
about like random ones, and it's honestly more of a thing of like just like scheduling, because
Yeah,
like
of course.
this thing is very like I'm trying to get more planned, but like almost everything that I do is just so random. Like I just wake up and I'm just kind of like, I watched this movie last night. I'm gonna make a video and I'll fucking post it, and whatever happens, happens. And then,
I
but
do
like
the
if I
same
don't want to
thing.
do it, I don't fucking want to do it. Like today, I didn't touch it. Like I was just like, I kind of forgot. Shit.
Do you post
Like
every day?
I try to. Yeah,
How many times?
Monday through Saturday at least once. But
That's
like
insane.
but like today I just fucking didn't.
You need to call Chuck, dude, because he's giving us like in the group chat. He's like, he's like the drill instructor from Full Metal Jacket. He's like, Private Pile, what do you do? Two, two, three posts a day. Two posts, one
Oh
slide. I want you to go
no,
live. I'm like, motherfucker,
fucking
what do you?
Ch- Chuck is very like
He
you're gonna
puts
bully the algorithm and you're just yeah, for
he
sure.
puts the
Yeah.
work in, and I'm not
But
saying that
he's
that dude.
growing.
And I'm not saying that that dude's got free time. He makes free time. He's got
He
to take care
makes
of his
it.
kids. He's got to work. He wakes up. He's got tons of shit to do. He reaches out to people. He networks. He fucking posts 3 videos a day.
Any
He's a machine.
dude, anybody out there that assumes that Chuck has all the
He's a
free time in the
machine. No,
world is wrong. That
he
that
makes it.
dude is yeah,
Chuck creates
yeah.
the free
He's
time because it's something it means because
he's not a human being.
the time that I spend, oh fuck, I just got a warning. What is it? 10-minute warning again, Justin. We got 10 minutes left.
Nice.
10 minutes left, and then I'll let you go. But I got you here for 10 whole minutes in the Randy
You
Savage
better
voice.
ask some like really good questions. Let's go.
But yeah, no, it's in closing with Chuck, he really does make the time, and he also has time to like give us guidance and tell us amazing things about like what we're doing. And some days he says nice things to us, and those are the days that I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. I can't, like, this is just because I'm giving up time. Like I'm not the time that I would spend playing video games or like going out to dinner or doing something, like I spend watching a film. I watch two films and do two reviews a day. Like that's like 4 hours. That
Hmm.
are 3 hours. It's a lot of
Yeah.
time. And that's if the video goes well. If I have to reshoot it, if something goes wrong, if it doesn't save, if the audio's fucked up, if like anything could go wrong with this shit. Like we're doing the best that we could do to try to like, I don't know, create less time that you spend doom scrolling at home because you saw a movie review that you wanted to watch now. Because I think that's what we all want for people is to
Yeah.
like respect their time and
Well,
make sure that they
and and that's a thing too, is like I get the comment a lot of like, oh, you started this hate train and you just like getting on here and shitting on movies. I don't like getting on and
now
shitting on movies, bro. Like I don't like that. The only time that I get on and like shit on something is if it comes from like a major studio
that's my rule
that,
too.
and it's like, bro, like Blumhouse, if you put out something shitty, I'm gonna fucking say it's shitty. I don't give a
Yeah, because you
shit.
have millions and millions of
Take.
dollars.
I haven't received anything from Blumhouse, and I would assume that's why, because this year I have shit on Blumhouse every
Because
chance I get,
they did that
and it's
Megan movie.
deserved.
That Megan movie, it was like a Chucky
It's
copy.
Mithrigan.
It's about a blow up doll that you can't bang. And I'm like, why would this be? Why would you make a movie about a blow up doll that I can't bang? I don't like
But
this.
they're putting that movie out. It's going to be called Soulmate. This guy's going to fuck the doll for sure.
I would be really, really happy if they fucking put a
Look
movie.
it
What?
up. It's called Soulmate. The guy's
I can't
wife
wait.
dies, so he gets a doll to
Oh, I can't wait.
replace the wife. He's going to fuck the doll
I
for
can't wait,
sure.
dude. I have to see like Lars and the Real Girl, but it's like horror. Fuck yes, dude.
Yep.
What are you excited about this year? What films are Alien Romulus, Nosferatu for me. Terrifier 3.
Those two for sure. Terrifier 3, I cannot wait for. Um, Brute 19,
Oh,
76
is
or
that gonna come out
86.
this
Brute
year?
Brute 1986. I don't
I don't think it's
Chuck,
coming out this year.
they just had the podcast, and the more that we go, I'm guessing like beginning of next year.
That's what I'm thinking too.
That's what I'm guessing, but like in the future, that's what I'm excited for. Um, for sure. There's that Azrael movie that Gigi and Seth saw
Oh, I
at
hate them.
Overlook, and they said it
Oh, I
just
hate them.
absolutely fucking rips. Yeah, they're terrible people.
Every time they get a chance to talk about
Love you guys.
Asriel, they're like, "Oh, I saw Asriel." I'm like, "I can't. I need to see it now because now you're making me upset. I want to see this movie now. I love you both,
Oh
but I
man,
hate you
like
at the same time."
yeah, you talk about the hype train. Like those two are single-handedly like hyping that movie up. So I cannot wait for those. But yeah, so that would be those are off the top of my head. But dude, there's so many surprise films that are just coming out left and right. So who fucking knows?
I don't. There's stuff that comes out that I've been really excited about that like I'm like okay, meh. But I think a lot of the stuff that I'm really liking is stuff that comes out like on a weekly basis, like that Dead Whisper movie. I can't wait to watch that. Everybody fucking loves Dead Whisper. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
Really? I thought I swear to God I saw a review.
No, I haven't seen that. That's one that I didn't get, but I'm excited to watch it for sure. Yeah.
So when are we getting the podcast?
I don't know. I really got to think about it for sure, because I've been doing that podcast with Prince Jackson from Bloody Disgusting. That I don't know if you've heard it.
What?
The Nightlight. Yeah, the Nightlight podcast. I've done it for the past like 3 weeks. We record the last episode Thursday.
How
It's
did
been a
is
lot
did
of
they
fun.
just is that their format? Do they have someone on like every 4 weeks and then bring somebody else on?
Yeah, it's called a co-ghost. And he reached out, was like, "Hey, we need somebody for this next month. Here's the 4 films. Watch them, and then we'll schedule times." And yeah, it's been an absolute blast.
That fucking rules, and I want everybody to go listen to what is his
Nightlight,
name? Nightlight. Okay,
the
the Nightlight podcast.
Nightlight with a K, Nightlight with a K. Um, yeah, we did the Beyond, Turbo Kid, and we just recorded one for at the Comet or Night
I
of the
love
Comet.
I love Turbo Kid, dude. That's one of my fuck.
Turbo Kid rips. I didn't even know it was a film, bro. I
Are you
loved,
kidding
dude.
me?
It was so fun. I had
This is the
never seen
first
it. I never
time
even
with the
heard of
guts
it.
in
Or I
the
had
bicycle wheel,
never even heard
dude.
of it.
If you
I was
guys
like,
haven't
this
seen
movie
Turbo Kid,
fucking rips.
you've seen Psycho Gorman, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, and like
Yeah.
VFW and Hobo with the
Yep.
shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, okay. Then Turbo Kid
Yep.
was the only one, but like those
Yeah.
four are like
Yeah.
if people like
Yep.
one, I always recommend the other three because they're so similar in vibe.
Yeah. Which I'm surprised because I love Summer of '84, which is the movie that they did after Turbo Kid.
Love Summer of '84 so much, dude. I would give anything to
Yeah.
sit
So
down with those people.
yeah. Yeah. It was, but yeah. So the podcast, yeah, I got to figure something out because I really do enjoy this for sure. I just need to figure out like a format.
I've never done two back-to-back shows with a guest. It's usually just one and then get the fuck off my channel so I can go jack off or so whatever I'm gonna go do because I just worked all day and I haven't had anything to do and I've just had nothing to do with my hands. But like, I don't know,
Oh,
man.
that
This
just
was
reminded me. Gotta update
yeah.
my schedule for after this for sure.
You
Like,
you
well,
gotta go talk to Shane and ask if he can borrow some Jergens. Shout out to Shane. Shout out to
shout out
Shane.
Shane.
We
Shout out
know
Shane.
we know what it looks like when you pour the lotion in your hand, Shane. But with the video
What
always ends at the weirdest part. It always ends.
what a legend.
But dude, thank you for like being here and hanging out. Like we're not like done, but I want to make sure that if I get stuck yapping on, that I thank you for being here because this is like the first time I've ever
Oh,
had a
yeah.
guest do two back-to-back episodes.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me and thanks for letting me have 2 episodes.
And I'm so sorry that I keep bothering you about the podcast. It was here's
No,
why.
but
Here's
it's a good push though, because I mean, if people want a podcast, like I'm gonna have to make a fucking podcast.
I'm telling you, like I was a fan before I was a friend, and I know that sounds fucking weird, but it's like that's the vernacular that revolves around what we do in the atmosphere. So, like,
Hmm.
I
Which
obviously
is
didn't see
so
your
weird to
video.
hear fans.
Well, I was
That's fucking
like,
weird.
I
Yeah,
wouldn't have
but
done
no,
this.
just that. What else do you call it? Yeah, I'm just
I
like
don't
from
know.
my point of view, I'm like, well, that's kind of weird to hear.
It's just It's so awesome to be able to share space with all these creators because, like, I just think that I'm a clown and I tell jokes about things that you guys are actually like embedded in and serious about and very much like have this expansive vocabulary that I can only like dream about using to describe things that I'm enamored with. And it's just like I'm like, this dick goes in the hole. And, like it's just me doing dumb dick jokes every video. And you guys just have so much more to
Yeah.
say than I do. And I don't know. I just look up to everybody that does this and respect it so much.
Yeah, no, but I mean, I was listening to one of your last episodes the other day, and dude, you had me on the floor. Like,
I
you're fucking hilarious. Like everybody has their thing. When I want to have when I'm having a shitty day, and I want like a laugh. I'm like, oh God, I hope Taylor posts a fucking video, dude. Because
dude,
like first 10 seconds, I'm like, yeah,
I have some podcasts that I'd like you to listen to from like my favorite stand-up comedians, and I really, really
cool.
think that you're gonna get a kick out of them, and they will help your mental health. Because that's, oh fuck, we have less than a minute. But anyways, if we get cut off, whatever. I love you guys if we get cut off, but I want to finish this thought. And thank you guys for listening. You guys can follow Justin at Slasher Talk on Instagram and TikTok. And what's your phone number?
Nope.
I'm just kidding. But dude, thank you so much for being on here. But I will text you with these podcasts because your mental health is
Thank you.
important to me, dude. No more
Yeah.
bummed out, Justin. I accept it sometimes. Other times, if I could do something about it, I will step in. But I just wanted to get that thought out before this kicks us off. And it's rude. So when it kicks us off, like it'll just end this and it'll all
It's
look like a
just gonna
dick.
kick us off. Yeah.